are the linesmen. And we are just about ready to go. In goal for the Pittsburgh Penguins tonight. First NHL game this season, just brought up from Baltimore, Roberto Romano. He was 15-4-1 with Baltimore, 3.60 goal average. Just 21 years old out of Montreal. Glenn Hanlon, the goalie for the Rangers tonight, making his third straight start, 10-5-2, and a 3.76 goal average. At Madison Square Garden, though, Hanlon has lost just once in 9 games, a record of 7-1-1. He is making his third straight start. He has been seeing pucks in his sleep, having lost the last 2, 7-1 to the Islanders and 9-5 to Edmonton. So the Rangers will try to put the pressure on early on this young goaltender, Romano, and very quickly, Brian Lewis blowing the whistle and some jostling going on. 14, Mike Allison for the Rangers. Steve Gatsos, number 26 for the Penguins. Barry Beck steps in. Gary Risling, who you know will stop at the drop of a glove, will fight at that. And very quickly, with just 13 seconds played, the Pittsburgh Penguins and the New York Rangers going at it.
Well, I think it's going to be Rod Buskus that is going to the penalty box. He hooked Pierre LaRouche right down around the face-off dot. Take a look at Lou Angotti right now behind the Pittsburgh bench. I'm sure he's not too happy about the way his club is starting off tonight's game. They need a win badly. That's not how they're going to do it, sitting in the penalty box.
So the 13-second mark, penalties are assessed. The pressure really on the Rangers tonight. They've lost 3 in a row to the Devils, starting it off here at Madison Square Garden, embarrassed by the Devils, 7-3. Then lost to Edmonton, and then lost to the Islanders. So the fans here are ready to pounce, especially if they have trouble with the Pittsburgh Penguins. So you can really say how important the first goal is tonight. All right, Pittsburgh on the draw. Bullet puts it in, and there is Maloney for the Rangers. Don Maloney loves the surface at Madison Square Garden. He has 14 goals this season, 11 have come here. As the Rangers with the puck. As Greg Hotham takes it away, and now the Penguins back the other way. Team skating 4-on-4. Hotham tries to split the defense, but almost gets split by Barry Beck. Rangers try to work out. At center ice, it is Pierre LaRouche, the former Penguin. And the save made by Romano, his first in the NHL this season. He was brought up last year, played 3 games for the Penguins. Gave up about 7 goals a game in those 3, but he has been excellent in Baltimore this year. 15-4-1. Baltimore in first place in the American Hockey League. Dennis Herron, pinched nerve in the back of the neck, and he is out, and the Penguins really do not know how long he will be out.
Herb Brooks behind the bench. The New York Rangers. Herb said before tonight's hockey game, he said, you know, goaltending has been mentioned, but I can't really put my finger on our problems over the course of the last month or so. He said it's not just the goaltending, our defense, our forwards have not played well. He said a real team effort.
Maybe he needs more fingers to put on the problem. All right, the face-off outside the Pittsburgh line. Mike Rogers will step in for the Rangers, and it comes back the Penguins in control. Here is Andy Brickley, one of the 3 that the Penguins picked up from Philadelphia in the trade for Rich Sutter. Brickley chasing after it. He is just back. He's been out with an injury. Flockhart not playing for the Penguins tonight, nor is Mark Taylor. Taylor with a knee injury. He's expected back Monday, as is Flockhart, who's suffering from the mysterious skin rash. No score, just starting here at Madison Square Garden. Rogers being checked by Greg Fox, the former Blackhawk, who came to Pittsburgh recently. He will be the guest of Al Trautwig in between the second and third periods here tonight. Rogers again circling. Leaves it for Dave Maloney. Maloney brings to the line. Fires it in as the Rangers, with the young goalie in there, 21-year-old Romano, will try to put that puck on the net early. Lugging it out as Greg Fox hits the line at center. Risling turned around, and it's taken by Laidlaw. Being checked closely by Risley, who was bumped off the play by big Willie Huber. And now the Rangers on the move. It is Pavlich stick handling his way in. Pavlich circling. The shot by Hedberg, and Romano comes up with a big save. Romano stands only 5'6" and reaches Up to glove that slapper by Hedberg. No score in the first period. We have played just 2.5 minutes as the puck is pinned. For our local systems, we will pause right now. The National Hockey League coming your way on USA.
Next Tuesday night, a battle of Adams Division rivals, as the Buffalo Sabres, with youngsters Phil Housley, Tom Barrasso, Sean McKenna, and veteran Gilles Perreault, take on the experienced Montreal Canadiens with their new centerman Bobby Smith and the ageless Guy Lafleur. Two hard-driving, skating teams on the Forum Ice. Should be exciting to see, so join us next Tuesday night, December 27th at 7:30 Eastern Time, as Buffalo meets Montreal. The NHL exclusively on USA Sports.
Face-off to the right of Glenn Hanlon. The Penguins with a line to match up against Nicky Fotiu, the favorite here in New York out of Staten Island. He is playing his 500th NHL game here tonight. Quite a feat for Fotiu off the streets of New York and playing for the Rangers. Bringing it out, Reijo Ruotsalainen, knocked away by McSorley, who was bumped by Fotiu. Keep an eye on those two. McSorley likes to mix it up, as does Fotiu. And Barry Beck gets in. The shot on the screen by Hedberg, and Romano comes out and smothers it.
You mentioned to keep an eye on it. Two pretty tough guys. Nick Fotiu being one for the Rangers, but Marty McSorley, number 4 for the Pittsburgh Penguins, a very rugged individual, 6'1", 190 pounds. We see some body checking going on down in the corner just before Mark Pavlich got possession of the puck.
And there is the policeman for the Rangers, Barry Beck, at the point. Line change is made. Pierre LaRouche steps in. 19 goals for the New York Rangers, their leading goal scorer. Beck shot, saved by Romano. The bump in the corners. They scramble there. Carlisle tries to dig it loose. It comes right in front. Romano smothers the shot. And racing forward is Mike Bullard. So Don Maloney got in front, but Romano has stopped everything, and he has been tested here early in 3.5 minutes of the first period. Last night against the Islanders scored in their first 2 shots against Pittsburgh, and it was downhill from there. Beck fires it, and Romano comes way out to make the save. So there's no question the Rangers try to pepper the young goalie from anywhere on the ice. Doug Shedden comes in, and that shot blisters wide. Freshner is turned around. Maloney gets it to center ice. Anderson leads to Dave Maloney. Maloney with Carlisle, and an offside was called. So the puck comes out to center ice. We have played 4 minutes in the first period, no score.
You mentioned about the fact that both teams shooting almost, it seems, from the neutral ice area, testing the goaltenders early in tonight's hockey game. Doug Shedden, here's a player that this Pittsburgh Penguin team need badly to get rolling. They thought after last year that he was going to have a very promising season this year, but promising it wasn't. He ended up breaking his wrist after the first game of the season.
And he missed 10 games, and now he is coming back. He has just 2 goals in the 22 games that he has played. Marty McSorley for the Pittsburgh Penguins off the boards, intended for Keogh. It's intercepted by Dave Maloney. Maloney, double team. It comes right back on the stick. The shot is sick to save by Romano as Rogers in front. You watch a sneaky Rogers. He is knocked down, and a penalty coming up against Pittsburgh. Greg Fox will be going off for 2 minutes. The score, Rangers nothing, the Penguins nothing. We'll return right after this.
In the West, where Levi Strauss & Company began, how your clothes feel has always been just as important as how they look. That's why Levi's Action Slacks have an easy care fabric that gives, plus a waistband that moves with you. It's a feeling of comfort that's capturing more men every day. Levi's Action Slacks. A real comfort from Levi's Menswear.
Well, we get a close-up look here at Mike Rogers. He had a good chance in front of the Pittsburgh net. Watch from the slot area here. That shot booming, but also the penalty coming here by Fox for holding it is. He really just gave an extra effort there and made sure that Rogers was not in front of that net area, but he paid for it.
Ruotsalainen can't get the shot off. The Rangers are the 4th best power play team in the NHL, but they have scored only once in their last 10 attempts. Ruotsalainen looks in front. LaRouche, who's their top power play scorer with 8 goals, can't get the shot off. LaRouche has it again, sets up the point. It is Dave Maloney. Maloney fires, and it's blocked in front and then cleared all the way down by Pittsburgh Penguins' Tom O'Regan. A minute 25 to go in the power play for the Rangers. Looking to strike first against the rookie goaltender, Roberto Romano, making his first NHL start of the season. Just brought up from Baltimore. And he's in goal for Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh looking for the shot in the arm, and perhaps Romano can do it. And now breaking in, the Penguins in front. The shot by Brickley, and Hanlon makes the sprawling save. A shorthanded attempt by Pittsburgh in front of LaRouche. And that shot went wide. Romano played it well. Got that stick down. The Rangers trying to put the pressure on. Don Maloney out to Greshner. Greshner fires on the screen, and it's blocked in front and cleared all the way down. So Brickley getting a good attempt coming in on Hanlon, who made the sprawl and the save. The Rangers still on the power play for another 30 seconds. No score, 6 minutes into the first period, and Romano wisely just covers it up. He'll take the face-off. Just 21 years old. He signed as a free agent. The suggestion of Jacques Lemaire, who had seen a young Roberto Romano playing in Montreal. Been to camp with the Pittsburgh Penguins the last couple of seasons. Played in Baltimore last year. This was Brickley coming in.
Well, watch Brickley. He goes to his backhand. Hanlon really made a good stick save there. Brickley in the wide open. The best scoring opportunity Pittsburgh's had so far tonight, and they were killing a penalty at that. Pittsburgh 10th best in the National Hockey League, killing penalties.
That's their leading scorer, number 22, Mike Bullard. 22 points, 18 assists, 40 points. 22 goals for Bullard to lead the Penguins. And it is cleared out. There's just 15 seconds to go, and the penalty to Greg Fox. No score here at Madison Square Garden. The Rangers and the Pittsburgh Penguins. The steal by Bullard off of Ruotsalainen. Looks in front. Shedden overskates the puck. And coming in, the Rangers looking to clear. Rangers on the attack. Erickson, number 20, brings it over the line. Looking for Pavlich in front, but he is checked out of the play, and Carlisle starts it back for Pittsburgh. His pass comes all the way down. Hanlon coming out, leaves it for Ruotsalainen. He is being chased by Troy Lonnie, number 11. And now Fatiou. Fatiou winding it up. Puts the shot on net, and Romano comes way out to make the save. Fatiou can really fire up this crowd here at the Garden. Puts it in front. Things certainly happen when Fatiou gets on the ice. No score. First period. 12:55 left. Fatiou again. McSorley trying to bump him. Back along the boards, and Bullard just sends it out.
I really like watching Fatiou shoot that puck out because he's got excellent wrist.
Sets up Allison in front. Saved by Romano, and they score on the rebound. Romano made the initial save, but the Rangers with Fatiou on the ice, able to slide it under Romano, and the Rangers take a 1-0 lead.
You could just tell that before tonight's hockey game that Nick Fatiou was really warmed up for tonight's match, his 500th. Kent Eric Anderson out on that line shift as well. Watch here, right in front of the net. As Al mentioned, Romano making the initial save, but he was down on his back, that puck going underneath him then.
The person who put the puck in the net, I don't know if they knew about it. From that angle, may have been kicked in by someone in front on the scramble. They'll likely give it to Anderson, which would be only his second of the season. And a penalty coming up right off the faceoff. Tom Ralston pulling down Pierre LaRouche. So the Penguins, who fall down 1-0, will now have to play with a man in the penalty box. Here's a word for our local systems.
Stay tuned to USA Sports later tonight for college basketball from the Meadowlands across the Hudson River in East Rutherford, New Jersey. It'll be a twin bill as Fairleigh Dickinson takes on Hofstra, and that'll be the opener. Then it's Rutgers taking on the Wolverines of Michigan. That's later tonight, a college basketball doubleheader beginning at 1 a.m. Eastern Time, 10 Pacific, right here coast to coast on USA.
Number 14, Mike Allison, and number 22, Nick Fatiu.
So just as the Rangers score on a goal by Ken-Eric Anderson, Allison and Fatiu get the assist at 7:25. This happens, and the Rangers will have a man advantage.
Well, there's the goal, first of all, by Eriksson. You see that he did push it underneath, but now the Rangers going to have another opportunity. Once again, the second time tonight, LaRouche was tripped from behind. Holding was the call, however. Tom Ralston for Pittsburgh serving the penalty.
So 7 seconds after the goal, Pittsburgh picks up the penalty. Now the Rangers have a chance to jump all over the Penguins here early. 12 and a half to go in the first period. 1-0 Rangers. They have not tasted victory in their last 3 games. And on the face, it is cleared by Brian Maxwell all the way down. Hanlon comes way out. Ruotsalainen behind the net takes a long look. It is Don Maloney, Mike Rogers, and Pierre LaRouche on the ice for the Rangers with Greshner and Ruotsalainen back. Greshner. It comes to Ruotsalainen. Takes the quick shot and deflects off a stick into the crowd. Romano has looked very impressive despite the fact that he has been scored upon here on a scramble in front, not getting very much help in that one, but the Rangers have come out, they have tested him, and he has made a series of good saves.
Well, they've been shooting for the points a fair amount. As we take a look here at Breo Ruotsalainen, he's got an excellent shot from that point. That's a good strategy when you are not very unsure of a new goaltender, to fire away from him, at him early in the hockey game. A lot of pucks coming from the neutral ice area, but Romano has looked quick. That's his asset. He is not very big at 5'6".
Rangers keep it in. Don Maloney. The man right on him is Brian Maxwell. Rogers trying to chase it down. Risling gets him out of the way, and the Penguins clear. 1:20 to go, and the penalty to Tom Ralston of the Pittsburgh Penguins. And now winding out the New York Rangers. Mike Rogers loses the puck, but as Andy Brickley plays it to his teammate, Brian Maxwell goes back, nearly loses. And the Penguins doing a good job dragging the puck, keeping it away from New York. Risling sends in a man with a minute to go. Again, it is Brickley smashed into the boards by Greshner. And now the Rangers come out with 4 men. Blaisdell taken out of the play. Carlisle racing with Don Maloney around the boards, and the Rangers cannot keep it in. 35 seconds to go on the Ranger power play. They're 4th in the NHL in the power play, but of late stuck in gear. They've scored only once, and this is the last 12 power play attempts. And the fans losing their patience very quickly. Rangers lead 1-0, but they want more. 15 seconds on the power play. It is Pavlich, who's the leading scorer in the Rangers with 38 points. Hedberg can't hold on. Eriksson looking for it. Hedberg comes out, drops it to Pavlich, goes to the point. The shot saved by Romano off the stick of Dave Maloney. And the penalty is over. The team's at equal strength. 1-0. The Rangers lead it here in their home ice in Madison Square Garden. Pavlich showing his shifty mood. Has it in the slot. Plays it back to Eriksson. To the point. Beck fires. And it slides wide. Comes out to center ice where Tom Laidlaw, the steady defenseman for the Rangers, plays it across to Beck. Beck being checked by Shedden. Laidlaw onto the stick of Hedberg. He has Pavlich. And now it is Pavlich on the move. Puts on the brakes. Spinning away from a man. Houtham now gobbling him up. But Pavlich, there he is, still with the puck. Romano, good stick check to get it away from the dangerous Pavlich in front of the net. Loney racing for it. And it sails into the crowd. 1-0, the Rangers lead with 9.5 minutes to go in the first period. NHL coming to you coast to coast on USA. And we will be right back.
This year, I'm not putting Duracell batteries under the trees.
Oh, no! But they play more tapes.
Give you more flashes. Oh.
My mind's made up. But the toys. Duracell keeps them going up to 6 times longer than regular carbon batteries.
They have to go under the tree.
Nope. This year, I'm putting Duracell in the stockings.
Enter Duracell's $100,000 sweepstakes at your local store.
All right, crowd looking on here at Madison Square Garden. Holiday fever here in New York. 1-0. The Rangers lead the Pittsburgh Penguins. 9.5 to go in period number 1. Tom Ralston, who the Penguins picked up from Edmonton, stepping in to take the faceoff for Pittsburgh. He has number 26, Steve Gatsos, lining up on the right wing. Number 20, Gary Risling, on the left wing. For the Rangers, Mike Allison pokes it out. And now the Penguins retreat. Marty McSorley, who signed as a free agent. Big man at 6'1" and 190 and likes to rough it up. Allison plays it back. Ralston off the boards. Anderson has it for the Rangers. He is the goal scorer of the evening. Ralston being bumped by Anderson. Now Allison makes chase. Matillo heads for in front of the net, but a Penguin was there. And now Pittsburgh tries to get it out. They cannot. Matillo in the slot. He is there. Scores! And this place erupts for the hometown boy. His first goal of the season. 2-0 Rangers.
Well, when Nicky Matillo scores in this building, you'd think they'd won the Stanley Cup. They've got a right to be proud. He's a motivating type of guy to have in your hockey club. You can just tell tonight that he was ready to play his 500th game of the National Hockey League career right from the slot area. He really took a look, you know. Sometimes people don't give Nicky Matillo proper credit for his abilities. He's got a tremendous shot, as mentioned before, and that time he really picked the open area.
Well, Matillo, his line now counting for the 2 Ranger goals as they go up by the score of 2-0. The first New York born to play on the New York Rangers. This is only his 15th game of the season. His first goal of the year.
Well, let's watch it again. Matillo from Anderson. Matillo found himself all alone in that slot area. He had lots of time to take a look.
And put it right between the legs of Romano. The assist goes to Anderson. Time 11 minutes as Romano has to come up with another save. 2-0. The Rangers lead the Penguins. So the Penguins now trying to get it together. They have won just once in their last 12 games. Roberto Romano just brought up from Baltimore. And Lou Angotti wasting little time putting him in goal. And here is Romano after he'd given up the second goal. Right in front, Pierre LaRouche, and Romano comes up with another nice save.
Well, as they say, if you're going to bring a hockey player up from the minor leagues, you might as well see what he can do. And Lou Angotti decided to put him right in the net tonight.
Well, last night, Dennis Herron started against the Islanders, gave up 3 goals in the first period, pinched a nerve in his neck, and he was gone. Michel Dion came on in the last 2 periods, gave up 8 goals. So Romano, the timing was right, and he makes a stick glove save on that shot from the point. 8 minutes to go in the first period. Al Albert with Gary Green and Al Trautwig at Madison Square Garden will come all the way down as the Rangers have a 2-0 lead over the Penguins. Rangers have had great success against Pittsburgh, especially here in Madison Square Garden. Last year, they won all 3 games here, averaging 7 goals a game against the Penguins.
We take a look at there at 6'5", 225-pound Willie Huber. Last year playing Detroit Red Wings. He was Detroit's first-round draft choice. Coming across this year to the New York Rangers, and pretty happy to be a Ranger.
Remember, this is an NHL night on USA, not an NBA night, because Huber fit in very well. Imagine at 6'5", they'd call him a small forward. All right, we'll have a face-off. The Rangers with a 2-0 lead over the Pittsburgh Penguins. These teams have met already once this year in Pittsburgh. The Rangers with a 6-1 victory in that game. Andy Brickley, who came over in the trade from Philadelphia. Brickley, who is All-American out of New Hampshire, now fitting in with Lou Angotti and his squad. Mark Taylor should be back on Monday, as will Ron Flaccar. The Pittsburgh Penguins very happy how they came out with that deal, sending Rick Sutter to Philadelphia. Penguins also got a number 1 in the deal. All right, Ruotsalainen behind his goal. Being checked by Tom O'Regan. Another American, went to Boston University, number 8. One of the final cuts in the United States Olympic team. He's on the ice right now for the Penguins. Brickley trying to sidestep the check by Blaisdell. 7 minutes to go in period number 1 at Madison Square Garden. The Rangers have jumped out to a 2-0 lead over the Pittsburgh Penguins. Scramble deep in the corner. LaRouche. There's O'Regan bumped by Blaisdell. Acquired from the Detroit Red Wings to do a little of that along the boards. And it's Brian Maxwell who caroms it around, and it comes out near break, but Brickley saw that Barry Beck was there. Beck off the boards, and McSorley for the Penguins plays it across. And it's shot in. Hanlon, who has had a very easy night, with the exception of the breakaway by Brickley, has not had any business coming his way. Hedberg, as 3 Penguins collapse around him. The Rangers have outshot the Penguins 15-2 to this point in the game. 6 minutes to go in the first period. Dave Maloney looks to bring it in. Bullard, number 22, and now it is Erickson. He has a man in front, Sundstrom, and it is poked and not out. Kept in by Hedberg. He is checked there by number 11, Troy Loney, a 3rd-round draft pick. And now a penalty coming up. So Brian Lewis calls the penalty. Bullard took the shot. A Ranger will be coming off, and we'll be back for the Pittsburgh power play. But first, this for your local systems.
One of the most interesting deals that occurred in the NHL offseason was the ability of the New York Rangers' Craig Patrick to acquire a proven 50-goal scorer for virtually nothing. He did that when he acquired Pierre LaRouche from the Hartford Whalers, and surprisingly, LaRouche has been able to shake off his bad reputation and currently is the 2nd leading scorer on this New York Ranger team. He'll be visiting with us in between periods, and then Gary Green will join me. We'll talk about news in the NHL. We'll also update you on some Ranger history and other teams and players making news.
Well, Jan Eriksson for the Rangers, a tripping penalty at 14-14.
So now the Penguins will have the man advantage. Once the best power play in the NHL, now they are down to 18th in the league this year. They have 24 power play goals and 141 attempts. That's 17% efficiency on the power play, while the Rangers are the 4th best penalty killing team in the league. Remember, just 2 shots on the Ranger goals so far in this first period. We have 5 minutes to go. Penguins trying to set something up, but right now the Rangers do the job to get it back. Carlisle and Hotham on the points. Ralston with Risling and Gatsos up front as Carlisle sends it in. Risling and Beck, a good matchup there. Risling plays it out to Hotham. Beck puts Gatsos into the boards, and it comes all the way down. 50 seconds to go in the power play.
Pittsburgh having trouble getting possession of that puck inside the Ranger end zone. Much more than about 10 feet. That's seemingly all they can penetrate. They can't even get out of their own end zone right now.
Peter Sundstrom sets it up, shot, and it's a save by Romano. Romano robs Tom Laidlaw. Dead on from the slot. Romano smothered the shot. So each team now has had a good shorthanded opportunity. And the Rangers just playing with the Penguins here. Rangers again shorthanded. They will be for another 15 seconds. And in complete control. Ryan Maxwell puts it on the stick of Pat Boutet. Anderson, who has a goal and assist, ahead to Don Maloney. One man back is McSorley, and Maloney overskates. Well, he does the job as far as the penalty is concerned. That is over. Teams are at equal strength, although it appeared to be for the last 2 minutes. Laidlaw, who was robbed. He has 1 goal this season. And now the Rangers, Mike Allison fakes the shot, heads in. He has LaRouche in front. His shot, score! Number 20 on the season for the ex-Penguin, Pierre LaRouche. 3-0 Rangers.
Well, Pierre LaRouche has found a warm spot in the hearts of these New York Ranger fans. This will only increase that warmth as LaRouche picks up that puck. And watch, you can see that LaRouche is almost off balance when he did get possession of that puck. Here we can see a little bit closer here. Watch LaRouche. He is really leaning way over on his right skate. Isn't at the best shooting angle either, but nevertheless still finds room.
And it made it difficult for Romano as with LaRouche angling out and getting that shot off quickly. Romano did not completely have the angle, and LaRouche put in his 20th of the season.
LaRouche, that's goal number 20 at 16:37.
Pierre LaRouche, who will be joining Al Troutwig in between the first and second periods. You're watching the NHL on USA.
One video game system has the most going for it. It plays the most games, the best-selling games. In Television 2 and the new System Changer. Plus, new arcade games like Bump and Jump. If you can't bump them, you've got to jump them. And Masters of the Universe with super graphics. You're He-Man, the most powerful human in the universe. But what you're up against isn't human. Bump and Jump and Masters of the Universe. New for Intellivision 2. It's got the most going for it.
LaRouche gets the goal, his 20th of the year. Allison and Laidlaw the assist. 16:37 the time. Rangers lead it 3-0. They have outshot the Penguins 17-2 against the rookie goaltender Roberto Romano. Nicky Fotiu, he's looking for more. He really can taste it now. He scored his first goal of the year here in this first period. 3 minutes to go as Hanlon steers it aside. They don't credit a save on that one, so still just 2 shots on goal for the Penguins. Rangers looking to snap out of their slump, certainly in the right direction here in the first period. Allison trying to lead in Laidlaw. Well, Rangers looking to get everybody the goals here. Fotiu scored his first. Laidlaw nearly had his second, but he was robbed by Romano. 2.5 to go in this first period. LaRouche with his 20th. He had 18 all last season. So here, not even mid-season, and he has already eclipsed that mark. An interesting point about LaRouche, he has 20 goals, but on his plus-minus, for those who keep track, he is a -12 for the season. Big night for that line of Fotiu and Ken-Eric Anderson. Anderson with a goal and assist. He started it off. The Rangers coming out against the young 21-year-old goaltender, Roberto Romano. Peppering him with shots early. He has come up with some real fine saves, but of the 17 shots, 3 have found their way through. 2 minutes to go in period number 1. Rangers 3 and the Penguins nothing. Well, the puck is still loose. Hedberg gets it out. Right in front. The shot just goes wide. As Pavlich working his way. Pavlich at 5'6", able to scurry his way in front. And now the Rangers on the weave. It is Hedberg. And he shoots it to the left of Romano. McClanahan making his first appearance on the ice. Gets it out to the point, but Maloney is bumped there by Shedden, and it comes all the way back. Willie Huber being watched by Mike Bullard. Plays it ahead to Pavlich. Pavlich now with LaRouche, the leading scorers on the Rangers, 38 points apiece. Carlisle gets in the middle of it, and now it is cleared down. I may point out teams are at equal strength here as Barry Beck starts out for the Rangers. 1:05 left in the first period. Erickson sets up the backhand.
This is the last minute of play in the first period.
By Romano, knocks it down. Anderson. And the shot by Huber is smothered. And now Pittsburgh, Tom Ralston, 2 back for the Rangers. And Hanlon sticks it aside. 45 seconds to go in the first. Hanlon almost giving the Penguins a gift, overskating the puck, and it comes back to smother. And now some discussion going on. Risling, who is always looking to mix things up, especially when his team is down 3-0 and they need a spark. You could count on Risling to try to get things going. Steve Gatsos skating off the ice. Guy was a scoring whiz in the juniors at Sault Ste. Marie. Now looking for that NHL.
26 of Pittsburgh, Steve Gatsis.
All right, Hanlon had a recover. He did quickly. A problem with a goaltender when you're facing only well, he's faced 3 shots now, they say, in the period, is you really get cold. And if something happens in front of you, you may have problems because of that, getting in the flow of the game. A penalty given to Gatsos for cross-checking in that melee in front at 19:17 of the first. So the Rangers, the final 43 seconds, will have a man advantage. See if they could strike for the 4th time. 3-0, the Rangers lead it. Goals by Anderson, Fatiou, and LaRouche. And now the Rangers close in. The shot off the arm of Romano. Greshner along the sideboard. It comes in front. Shot. Score. Erickson is, or rather LaRouche is decked in front after the shot. With 18 seconds to go on a power play, Romano is beaten for the 4th time here in the first period. And he is really hard to fault. He has faced 19 shots, not getting very much help in front, and that a power play goal. And we'll see how it is set up. It is Greshner working to the sideboards. Pavlich, he finds LaRouche, fires, and the puck just bounces in. It may have gone off the foot of Don Maloney, who works his way in front of the net as well as anybody in the NHL. They give the goal to LaRouche, his 2nd of the period, his 21st of the season. And with 18 seconds to go, it is now a 4-0 game. Pavlich and Greshner on the assists. 19:42 is the time. So Gatsos cross-checking in front of the Ranger net. And he pays for it with another goal up on the board for the Rangers. Now just 5 seconds to go. So Pierre LaRouche, a big first period. 2 goals, numbers 20 and 21. He was pushed from behind, and he is now going to the locker room. LaRouche scheduled to be the guest of Al Troutwig in between the 1st and 2nd period. All right, the Rangers just looking to pin it, get the buzzer, and so the Rangers, who have been struggling terribly, outscored 23-8 in their last 3 games, losing those 3, bouncing back here against the Penguins, leading 4-0 at the end of the first, outshooting the Penguins 20-3 in the first period of play. Coming up, Al Troutwig. Hopefully we'll be talking to this man, Pierre LaRouche. 2 goals, but walks out after getting hit in the back following that 2nd goal. The score after 1 period of play. The New York Rangers 4, the Pittsburgh Penguins nothing. And we'll return with our between period activities in just a moment.
Scope presents The Way It Was.
Mother, mouthwash tastes like medicine. Well, if it didn't, it wouldn't work.
Margaret believed it. Today, she still does.
Honey, try Minty Scope. Tastes good.
Then it doesn't fight bad breath.
Scope works. Don't let the good taste fool you. Try it.
Minty.
Fresh breath that lasts.
My mother will never believe it.
Scope works. Don't let the good taste fool you.
Where is it written that this man has to use a sleigh 365 days a year? Introducing the 4-wheel drive Toyota Tercel wagon. It has lots of room. It gets the best gas mileage of any 4-wheel drive wagon, and it switches from front wheel to 4-wheel drive on command. The 1984 Tercel wagon, the official car of Santa Claus.
Ho, 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 ho. What a feeling.
Of the best-selling motor oils today, 14 now save gas. But only one saves gas. Offers cold weather starting down to 35 degrees below zero. And the best engine protection under extreme heat. In fact, the best engine protection you can give your car. Only one. Mobile One.
In our world of endless imagination, anything can happen. And those of you who wear Levi's jeans know what I'm talking about. Because anywhere our minds can go, we can follow too. Go ahead, chase a dream in Levi's jeans.
back in Madison Square Garden in New York City. You see the first period score. The New York Rangers lead the Penguins by a score of 4-0, outshooting the team from the Steel City 20-3. It was a confused Pittsburgh Penguin team that played that first period for sure. They could not get organized in their own zone. As we told you, Pierre LaRouche was scheduled to be our guest, but after scoring his 21st goal of the year to give him the team lead in scoring, he was cross-checked on the play. But we're very happy to have filling in for Pierre LaRouche, who's being attended to in the Ranger locker room, Nick Fotiu, who scored his first goal of the season. Nick, what are your reactions and emotions to that? I know the crowd loved it.
Well, you know, I only played, this is my 15th game, you know, and I'm not a goal scorer, but when I get him, it's a plus, and it's a plus for the team, and, you know, it's part of winning, and, you know, that's what I'm here for.
And Nick, the team, the Rangers, have lost 3 in a row, and I'm wondering whether Herb said anything to you tonight about inspiring the team, coming out and being ready to play. Did he say anything to you?
Well, we had a team meeting, you know, things had to be said, you know, that's for our benefit, and it was said. The guys had a meeting, and, you know, we laid the cards out on the table, and let's stop all the baloney and go out there and play.
Well, we have an opportunity to look at Nick Fotiu's first goal of the season. It was at 11 minutes of period 1, assisted on by Kent Eric Anderson. Do you remember anything about it?
Yeah, well, I'm playing with probably the 2 best checkers on my team, and, you know, I guess Ron Greshner dumped it in and hit a leg and bounced right to me, and I just put it in.
And a little bit of a victory dance. You also had an assist in the first period, and Al Albert and Gary Green upstairs in the booth were commenting that from the opening whistle, you seemed like you were ready to play, very ready to play.
Like I said, we had a meeting, and we have to get things turned around, and, you know, I was sulking for 15 games, you know, we played 32 or 33 games, and I wasn't playing, and I just said to myself, well, I'm not going to sulk, and I'm going to go out there and play, and, you know, that's what happened. You have to be honest with yourself, and that's what we are, honest with our team.
After talking to 1 or 2 of the coaches and people involved with the Rangers, they said that all the things that were working, the movement, the player recognition, looking for the open player with the pass, all of a sudden it didn't seem to be working, and it seemed like the player roles were a little bit clouded.
Well, you know, when you're playing well and things are going good and you make those perfect passes and the openings are there because you're moving and the team's playing well, they're skating. We're a skating club. If you don't skate, you know, you're not going to get those open holes, and, you know, you're not going to do anything. But when you sulk and guys are just playing half, things don't happen.
One of the things that's made Nick Fotiu famous in New York, at least well-known and very popular with the fans here at Madison Square Garden, is the puck throwing before the games. You do that, I still think, before every game, and it's something that the Ranger fans have come to expect. How did that all start?
I was, you know, as a kid growing up in New York, I was a fan of the New York Rangers, and I never got a puck. So I says, when I play hockey, I want to give the pucks after warm-ups, and I've been doing it now for 10 years, so I'm not going to stop.
Any plans for what you may do if you ever get to hold the Stanley Cup, being a Ranger fan and seeing them not win for so long and now playing on the team for so long and not being able to win the Cup? I'm sure you have visions of what that may be like.
I was looking up at those 3 flags the other day, and I said, geez, I want one this year, you know. And, you know, like I say, the Islanders have a great hockey team, and we have to take it away from them, and it's not going to be easy because they play well. And, well, I want it, so we've got to go out and get it. You know, we've had a bad game in the Island, so we're 2-1 in the season, 2 wins, 1 loss, but it's a long season.
It is a long season, and really you have to expect a team during this 80-game season to have a slide, to have a bad stretch. So I don't think there's any panic, is there, in the Ranger locker room?
No, there isn't. I mean, they had their little slump in the beginning of the year, and baseball players have a slump, and people say, well, how do you get in the slump? How do you get out? If we knew the answer, we would have been out a long time ago.
Nick, thank you very much, and good luck in the rest of this game. You've had an assist and a goal already.
Thank you.
Nick Fotiu filling in for the injured Pierre LaRouche. We hope Pierre is okay. And for being our guest in between periods, Nick Fotiu will receive the exciting new Kodak disc camera, the camera that is so easy to use, you never miss a picture. A little bit of Ranger history for you. The number 7 of the Rangers, now retired, Rod Gilbert, holds or shares 20 scoring records for this NHL team, and Rod is the only player to have his number retired for the Broadway Blues, as you take a look at it there. Stay tuned on USA. Gary Green gets set to join me, and we'll be talking about other players and teams making the news. In news in the NHL, after 1 period of play, it is the New York Rangers 4 and the Pittsburgh Penguins nothing. The Rangers look like they're well on their way to snapping their 3-game losing streak.
Fess Parker is a sheriff who's out to unbury some answers to a murder mystery on the Alfred Hitchcock Hour at 11 p.m. Eastern tonight.
A forward pass, a lateral, and a run to daylight. Hi, this is Bob Greasy for the Sporting News, and we have a play that'll win big for you every time. 2 issues for the price of 1 to introduce you to the Sporting News, the Sports Bible. That's right, you get 26 issues of the Sporting News for just $9.99. 2 for the price of 1. You can't buy the sporting news for a lower price anywhere. It's the magazine that gives me the no-nonsense details of all Major League sports and college action. To love sports is to love the sporting news, the Sports Bible. Why don't you subscribe today? And here's a friend to tell you how.
You get the sporting news at the low rate of 39 cents an issue. 26 issues for $9.99. That's half the regular subscription price. To subscribe, call toll-free 1-800-USA-1000. In Georgia, call 1-800-222-7272. That's 1-800-USA-1000. In Georgia, call 1-800-222-7272.
Al Troutwig back in the USA studio along with Gary Green, looking quite cute in our holiday matching ties. Gary and I are getting ready to talk about the NHL Toyota Player of the Week. It's getting a little ridiculous now. Wayne Gretzky, of course, number 99 of the Edmonton Oilers. What a week he had. He had 7 goals, 10 assists in 4 games. And that was the best weekly number ever for a player since this Toyota Player of the Week award was established. He also now has 100 points in 34 games. No one's ever done that before.
Quite a record, and he's the guy that's going to obviously set a lot of records. He was also voted the Best Athlete in Canada award this year, and that is quite a recognition.
Well, last night at the Meadowlands in East Rutherford, New Jersey, a couple of players reached milestones that Wayne Gretzky, of course, aspires to. The first, Guy Lafleur of the Montreal Canadiens. He scored his 500th goal of his career. It became the 10th player to reach that mark. Marcel Dion, the only other active 500-goal scorer. Watch this, Pierre Mondu feeding Guy Lafleur over the shoulder of Resch for number 500. And there it is. Something else also happened in that hockey game. Steve Shutt scored a goal as well. He became the 20th player to reach the 400-goal mark in NHL history, the 19th being Lanny McDonald, who scored a goal on Monday. We're going to take a look and see the facts on Steve Shutt. He became the 20th player to reach the 400-goal plateau, with Lanny McDonald, as I mentioned, being the 19th. But something may have happened last night which may make Steve Shutt the 19th and Lanny McDonald hopefully the 20th.
Well, I think that goal was taken away from Lanny McDonald. But getting back to Shutt and Lafleur, you know, that takes a lot of pressure off of that whole Montreal Hockey Club, because I think a lot of the players were thinking about those milestones. As far as Shutt goes, he said it may be a great record, but that'll be a puck and a stick that'll go in my rec room. Guy Lafleur said, I'll probably think about it when I'm 50 years of age, but right now I'm much more concerned about the play of this team who haven't got off to a very good start.
And Coach Bob Berry was very relieved that these two players who had been under tremendous pressure to reach these plateaus from the Montreal fans and media did it on the same night, defeating New Jersey by a score of 6-0. A very emotional, exciting night at the Chicago Stadium on December 18th, when Stan Mikita was joined by Bobby Hull, having their numbers retired.
Thank you.
So the man who put a lot of goaltenders on their backs with a wicked slap shot, Bobby Hull, has his number retired by the Chicago Blackhawks. A couple of headlines making news in the National Hockey League this week. One of them is quite interesting, actually. There's talk of divisional realignment in the National Hockey League. There's talk that Pittsburgh will move to the Norris division and Toronto to the Adams division, hopefully to get Pittsburgh out of the very competitive Patrick division and create some new rivalries in the Adams division, with Toronto moving in with Quebec and Montreal. The other is Bob Hoffmeyer of the New Jersey Devils. He whacked Brian Bellows of the Minnesota North Stars Saturday night over the head with a stick, and he is scheduled to be suspended. The suspension decision coming from Brian O'Neill and the National Hockey League tomorrow. So those are some headlines that possibly will be making future news, and that's a wrap on news in the National Hockey League. We're at Madison Square Garden in New York, where the New York Rangers lead the Pittsburgh Penguins by a score of 4-0. Taking a look at the NHL's leading scorer, it's Wayne Gretzky again. We begin and leave you with number 99. In 34 games, there it is, 100 points. No one's ever done that before. But then again, He's done a lot of things that no one's ever done before. Second period coming up. Hopefully the Pittsburgh Penguins can get their act together, but the Rangers are leading by a score of 4-0.
Taking home movies on my daughter's 8th birthday sounded okay to me, until she said ice skating. Good thing for me, I've got JVC's new compact video camera and recorder. Good thing they only weigh about 7 pounds. This camera's got through-the-lens autofocusing. Watch, it's even got optional titling.
Next year, how about a ski party?
JVC Portable VHS Video. When you want to relive a memory, we take you there.
The Denerex Dandruff Shampoo difference.
On this side, I feel a tingling sensation, and there's no tingling on this side.
Look what you used.
I can't believe it. The Selsun Blue has been my old standby. I've never had this feeling of working sensation as I had with the Denerex.
Each shampoo has one medicine for dandruff. Only Denerex adds extra anti-itch medicine many dermatologists recommend.
I'm not even going to look for anything else. I'm going straight for Denerex.
Denerex shampoo or shampoo and conditioner fights dandruff and its itch with an extra relief medicine.
Back live from 33rd and 8th Avenue in Midtown Manhattan, New York City's Madison Square Garden. After one period of play, the New York Rangers lead the Pittsburgh Penguins by a score of 4-0. And now taking a look at the scoring summary from the first segment of play. The Rangers on the board first. Kent-Eric Anderson, his second from Allison and Petiou at 7:25. Then at the 11-minute mark, Kent-Eric Anderson registered an assist for Nick Petiou's first of the season. It was 2-0 Rangers. It was 3-0 when Pierre LaRouche scored his 20th of the season from Allison, who had his second assist, and Tom Laidlaw at 16:37. And then at 19:42, on a power play goal, Pierre LaRouche became the Rangers' leading scorer, at least for now, scoring his 21st of the year, and then was injured on the play and unable to make an appearance in our studio.
And here's the final goal that capped off the first period. Just 18 seconds remaining in the period. Pierre LaRouche right in front, taking the pass from Pavlich, and he bangs it by Roberto Romano. And after that is when LaRouche got belted in the back and had to leave the ice. But for LaRouche, goals 20 and 21 as he closed out that first period. The Rangers, who had scored just 8 goals in their last 3 games, scored 4 goals in the first period against the Pittsburgh Penguins. The shots on goal, Rangers with 20, Pittsburgh with 3, and that certainly tells the story. After seeing Pittsburgh in the first period, you wonder how they have won as many as 7 games. Very disorganized in both ends of the ice. Just 3 shots on Hanlon. The biggest tester came early in the game when the Rangers had a power play, and Andy Brickley started out on a breakaway, but came from an angle, and it gave Hanlon the room to be able to sprawl across the crease and make the save. So that was the biggest tester for Hanlon, who just faced 3 shots. The Rangers, who were trying to snap out of a slump that has everybody here, the Garden, somewhat annoyed, ready to pounce tonight, especially if they had problems against the Pittsburgh Penguins. But so far here in this first period, no problems whatsoever as the Rangers jump out to a 4-0 lead, and they are being inspired by the man who joined Al Trautwig in between the first and second periods, Nicky Petiou. In only his 15th game of the season, he says he's been sulking because of the way the Rangers have been playing, because he hasn't been getting any ice time, but he came out hard tonight, and he set up the first goal and scored the second. Well, our next hockey game here on NHL is coming up next Tuesday night at 7:30. It will be the Buffalo Sabres in Montreal against the Canadiens. Right now, Buffalo with a record of 20-10-4, just 2 points behind first place Boston, with Montreal back up to the 500 mark at 16-16-2. They have 34 points and trying to inch closer and closer towards third place Quebec. Quebec 5 points ahead. Once again, shots on goal in that first period, extraordinary. The Rangers, 20 of them, and the Pittsburgh Penguins 3. And that man playing his first NHL game this season, Roberto Romano, just 21 years old, born in Montreal, signed as a free agent with the Penguins, playing in Baltimore. He came up for 3 games last year and got his first taste of the NHL. And it is, I'm sure he feels as if he's played at least a game already, just going 20 minutes and facing 20 shots. He has come up with some remarkable saves. If not for Romano, this game could have been even higher than 4-0. As he even you could see a little smile on the face, maybe in disbelief at the rubber that he has seen in the first period. And he goes up against Glenn Hanlon, who could get out the rocking chair, especially for that first period, facing just 3 shots. Romano, who has been seeing a lot of rubber of late. He has played the last 2 games, lost them. Islanders hit him for 7 goals, 5 of those coming in the last 8 minutes of the game. And before that, Hanlon was in goal against Edmonton when the Rangers lost 9-5. So it's a new period, second period of play. Pittsburgh has to come out, wiping the thoughts of the first period out of their minds and just attack it from here. They trail it 4-0 as we have started play in the second period at Madison Square Garden. Barry Beck, the captain of the Rangers, onto the stick of Allison. He plays it ahead, and Don Maloney loses. LaRouche is back on the ice. He took a vicious check from behind after he scored that second goal. He now has 21 on the season, the leading goal scorer, leading scorer on the Rangers with those 2. 4-0, the Rangers lead. And Pittsburgh trying to get out. It is their leading scorer, Bullard. He has Loney on the left side. The shot saved by Hanlon. That was one of his most difficult saves of the evening. All right, Allison with Maxwell waiting for him. Loney comes back. He drops it to Maloney, saved by Romano. Romano goes down quickly with those stacked pads, but if you watch him closely, he won't go down until the shot is taken, so he doesn't give up his feet. Ralston cuts in front, and a sprawling save made by Hanlon. And the Rangers come back, leading 4-0. Peter Sundstrom drops it for Rogers. He is knocked off the play by Carlisle. It is Greshner, who turns 29 tomorrow. In front, Sundstrom walks in, but he can't get the shot off. Gatzos coming back for the Penguins. And now Pittsburgh on a rare attack, and they go in offside. Well, even on the attack, unable to get the puck across.
Pretty discouraging for Pittsburgh coming out of that first period. You mentioned Glenn Hanlon. He didn't have a lot of work by any means in that first period of play. Still at this point in the game, only having received 5 shots. Here was maybe one of his tougher ones to stop.
Nice save.
Good play there by Tom Ralston. Greshner just missed him. Got a little piece of him. Almost tripped up Ralston, but nevertheless, Hanlon made the save, and the Rangers are still ahead by the score of 4-0.
And some excitement generated Madison Square Garden as Nick Fatiu came on the ice, but it was only to get a little skate. He is not taking a line shift. Big man for the Rangers in the first period, set up the first goal, got an assist, and scored the second one, got the Rangers off and running. Erickson, and there goes the pad down. That quick leg of Romano, who stands only 5'6". He is certainly low to the ice. And I am intrigued so far here in the first period how he's able to utilize the pad so well. Gary Risling, recently brought up.
Was one of my former players in Washington from time to time. Risling, a very rugged player, much like this man, Nicky Fatiu. I thought Fatiu was very honest in his interview with Al Troutwig in between periods, saying really the Rangers had a heart and soul meeting, I guess you could call it, where they got a lot of their little feuds out of the way. He mentioned a little bit of sulking that perhaps is going on. He mentioned himself included in that bunch. May have straightened away.
It is Erickson. Back pass to Willie Huber. Cross to Laidlaw. He's looking for Fatiu, but it's stopped at the red line by Carlisle, and he shoots in a bouncing puck. A little trouble by Hanlon, and then they get it back. So Carlisle racing it down. On the left wing, Risling. Ahead to Ralston. Gatzos flying for it. Hanlon coming out. We played 2.5 minutes of this second period. Rangers 4, and the Penguins no score. Ruotsalainen up to Fatiu. Really got the shot off. Blistering wrist shot by Fatiu. The shot you were talking about earlier, Gary, as Pittsburgh sends it in. It is Keogh. Bumped, and McClanahan comes out for the Rangers. Ruotsalainen, Pavlich. He has McClanahan in front, but McSorley breaks it up. He winds it around, and it comes all the way back. Greshner makes chase, but Hanlon comes out and gives it to his defenseman. So Greshner, who recently making the social pages here in New York, married to model Carol Alt. Certainly the highlight of the season for Greshner.
It better be his highlight.
For many, a highlight of the life. All right, Rangers with the puck. And as McClanahan dropping it for Pavlich. He curls in front. And McSorley got the piece of it. And he sends it down. Nearly 4 minutes gone by. In the second period, icing call against the Pittsburgh Penguins. They trail the Rangers 4-0. From Maine to Hawaii, you're watching the NHL on USA.
The truck world has just been turned upside down. Introducing the 1984 Toyotas, the next generation of Toyota trucks, the best-looking Toyotas ever. With a new extra cab, the roomiest Toyota ever. And with this SR5, the most powerful Toyota ever, thanks to the first-of-its-kind electronic fuel injection. The truck world will never be the same.
Oh, what a feeling, Toyota.
Madison Square Garden, the scene for tonight's NHL Special Edition on USA. It has been a special night for the Rangers, for Nicky Fotiu, Pierre LaRouche, as they have sparked New York to a 4-0 lead. And the Rangers looking to put the pressure, continue it on. The Rangers looking for a game like this. Things have been dry for the Rangers the last 3 games. Outscored 23-8 by the opposition, losing all 3. Really starting to feel the pressure. After that quick start, they had won 9 of their first 10. But since then, they have gone 8, 11, and 4. They have dropped out of first place into 3rd place in the division with 38 points, 3 points behind Philadelphia, and they've fallen 10 behind the Islanders. Rangers come in with a record of 17, 12, and 4. Pittsburgh has won 7, lost 22, and tied 5. It is Blaisdell, a man in front. Don Maloney turned around. LaRouche gives a check to Dean DeFazio, number 31, another youngster who was just brought up from Baltimore. 20 years old, originally a 9th-round draft pick. And now called up by the parent club, the Pittsburgh Penguins. These moves with Romano, the goaltender, and DeFazio, the 40th and 41st roster changes for the Penguins this year. Shedden shoots it in. Hamlin, who has been more active here in this second period. He faced 3 shots in the first period. Has already seen 4 more here in the first 5 minutes of the second. This is the most pressure that the Penguins have applied here tonight. And the puck is frozen underneath. Barry Beck. Exclusive national coverage of the NHL only on the USA Network. We'll be right back.
A Christmas gift from Radio Shack.
Joan, Radio Shack's Christmas electronics sale solved my gift problems. I got Jimmy 2-way hi-fi speakers, half price, just $39.95 each. For Jeff, a realistic 40-channel CB, only $79.95. Mindy, a deluxe solar-powered 4-key memory calculator, $10.77. And I got this cordless phone, only $99.95.
A super Christmas electronics sale, only at Radio Shack.
Barry Beck getting a well-deserved rest on the bench. Take a look here as Beck, well, ends up being goaltender. Randy Carlyle trying to get his shot away. Beck blocks it. That puck ends up underneath Beck. Stoppage in play, and that is why the face-off is in a peculiar position right now, right in front of the Ranger net.
Bullard facing off against Rogers. Bullard gets it back to Carlyle. Buskus the shot, and it finds its way through before being deflected to the corner. Jan Eriksson for the Rangers. Sundstrom plays it ahead to Eriksson. Sundstrom looking for the puck. He gets it. Ridden off by Carlyle. The 2 numbers 25 bumping. Rangers look to keep it in. Eriksson, and he loses to Carlyle. The veteran defenseman, one-time Norris Trophy winner. Big score for the Penguins, although this year Carlyle has been held only 2 goals. It is Eriksson again. Sundstrom winds. Great save right off the toe of Romano. In front, it's deflected high and into the crowd. So Romano with that quick reflex again, getting those legs, quick moving legs, and got it just with the toe. And he foils Sundstrom, and we take another look at that.
Good shot here by Peter Sundstrom. He released it as Europeans know how to do so well. Eriksson feeds him the pass. He let her go, but Romano coming up with that quick save. You know, Romano goes down quickly, as you'd mentioned earlier, Al, but he also gets up quickly, and he has to stand up because at 5'6", he doesn't cover a lot of the net, makes those upper corners very open to the opposition if he doesn't stand up.
Just called up from Baltimore, where he had a record of 15-4-1, goal average of 3.60. Pittsburgh Penguins with Dennis Herron injured last night in the game against the Islanders. He pinched a nerve in his neck. And Michel Dion getting bombed the last 2 periods of that game. Struck for 8 goals. So Romano called up and sent right into the fire. 13:20 to go in period number 2. Fotiu looking to wind up. Look at that move, he says. Hits the blue line and is spun around by Fox. Now Fotiu has a couple of words with Fox. Fotiu. And we have a penalty coming up. Penalty on Pittsburgh, and it was Fotiu who drew the penalty. With McSorley, now watch him closely. McSorley likes to rough it up, and Fotiu knows his place on the ice.
Well, McSorley got into it last night in the island with Clark Gillies. He has stayed out of it so far.
For our local systems, we'll pause now. The National Hockey League coming your way on the USA Network.
Tomorrow night, more great Thursday night NBA action here on USA. Game 1 pits the New Jersey Nets and Dallas Mavericks with high-scoring Mark Aguirre from the Meadowlands Arena. Then in Game 2, Ralph Sampson and the Houston Rockets travel to the Pacific Northwest to battle the always dangerous Seattle Supersonics. Game time is set for 8 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow, Thursday night NBA, right here on USA Sports.
Penalties commits for slashing. To number 4 of Pittsburgh, Marty McSorley.
Well, you see what happened to Fotiu as he looks cross ice at Marty McSorley, who got the slashing. It was announced 2 minutes, but the Rangers probably now contending that it should be 5 for drawing the nasty cut. McSorley goes off for 2. Fotiu, who has certainly been in the middle of things. Let's take a look and see if that slash, there it is, raked him across the face. McSorley. Fotiu continues to go on.
Well, I don't think McSorley really meant to do it, as you saw the gesture that he made right afterwards. But that's a dangerous position. He did see Fotiu leaning down, bent over, trying to keep his balance for that puck. Not much doubt that it was a nasty cut that Fotiu went to the penalty box for some reason and was in the penalty box. He must have thought that he also got a penalty.
Reflex action. All right, so the Rangers now on the power play, and the shot dribbles on goal, and Romano covers up. So still, Fotiu being attended to, but he just wants to stay out there.
This game is authorized under television rights granted by the National Hockey League and is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Hockey League is strictly prohibited.
Face off to the right of Romano. You take a look in the goal, you see how he's crouching in front. Greshner tees it up. He's got it there, he didn't see it, but now covers up.
Romano had quite a number of players in front of him. Wasn't easy for him to see when Greshner was taking such a long shot. You notice, watch Romano, he's down in that crouch position. He looks around behind him. He thought maybe, uh-oh, here goes number 5, but that puck was not in the net that time.
Hedberg right in front. Eriksson was there. Greshner again. Rutsalainen has the stick cocked, ready to fire. Eriksson racing. Hotham plays it off the board. Havlet, number 16. Hedberg, number 15 for the Rangers. Greshner keeps it in. But as Carlisle knocks it away, regained by Greshner. Rutsalainen is calling for the puck at the left point. Greshner fires. And Carlisle races to the puck and clears it down. Well, Rutsalainen, who has that big shot from the point. The Ranger has taken more shots than any of his teammates. looking for that puck. Now he has it. Rogers puts on the brakes. Cross ice shot. Save made by Romano. Rebound. Oh, a beauty as he plucks it out of the air. Robbing this man.
Well, LaRouche almost had his hat trick for the evening, but Romano had something to do with that. Take a look here. Quick reflexes by Romano. LaRouche in a very good scoring position. Releases that puck quickly. Watch again. 2 chances he had in a short period of time. Romano robbing him in both cases.
Well, you know the thrill a goal scorer has in putting on the red light, scoring the goal. That's the same thrill Romano just achieved in making that kind of save. And he holds the score at 4-0 Rangers. Still the power play for 35 seconds for the New York Rangers. 11.5 minutes ago in this score second period after the Rangers bombed the Penguins for 4 goals in the first period. Mike Rogers gets it out to Dave Maloney. Maloney fires, save, rebound. Romano covers up in front. LaRouche was there looking for any garbage, but Romano continues to hold his ground, or I should say hold his ice right in front with just 18 seconds now in the power play.
Don Maloney with his second chance in as many tries here in the last 15 seconds, right in front of that net. You know, you got to give Romano a lot of credit in this game so far. He has made some key saves. He has not had a lot of help from his defense. His defense have been a little bit negligent, or I should say a lot negligent, of not clearing those bodies out in front of the net area.
Well, at this pace, the Rangers will rifle 60 shots on goal tonight. They're not even at the midway point of the game, and they have outshot the Penguins 30-8. LaRouche in front as Romano sticks it aside. Dave Maloney, he fires, and that goes wide. Penalty over, and now the teams are at equal strength. Brickley, number 23, looking to get in, but the Rangers come right back. Maloney flips it into the corner. Carlisle, he has a Ranger right on his back, forechecking Don Maloney. Rutsalainen, and the shot is blocked by Carlisle. Rogers ahead to LaRouche. One man back, Hoffa. Plays it to Maloney. LaRouche, a tough angle, and sliding back was Romano. Rutsalainen just puts it in front. Romano sticks it aside, and it comes out. A busy night around the Penguin goal for Roberto Romano, just 21 years old. And his first NHL game this year. Called up from Baltimore. And now they go into the corner. It comes in front. Anderson. That was Fatiu going along with Rod Buskus. And there is time with the score. Rangers 4, Penguins nothing.
Introducing a Wonder Wagon.
Wonder what it is.
Introducing the new 1984 Toyota van. You'll wonder why no one ever thought of it before.
I wonder if it's a car.
I wonder if it's a van.
It looks like nothing you've ever seen before. It can seat 7, sleep 4, or carry 1,500 pounds of apples. You can even get an ice maker. And 2 sunroofs.
I know, it's a condominium.
Make no mistake about it, the new Toyota van.
Fatiu in the penalty box, 2 minutes for charging, and I think Nicky feels better after that. That was his first opportunity on the ice after he had been cut rather severely there on the chin. He was just all full of vigor and came running out. I think it was almost a triple charge there because he ran at Buskus all the way from back in the neutral ice area.
A man on the mission. Fatiu, crusade for him here tonight. Barry Beck filling your screen. As he lines up, the Rangers now will be down a man. They lead 4-0. We are midway through this second period. And the Penguins with an opportunity, their second power play of the night. They have Brian Maxwell, number 5. Penguins having problems getting it past the blue line. And I remind you, they have one more skater on the ice now than the Rangers. It is Maxwell dropping it for Tom Ralston. Ralston starts the attack. He has Shedden 14 on the left wing. Looks for Troy Loney. Loney is turned around. And there is a whistle.
Penguins looking a little bit disorganized this evening. And Al, you mentioned that statistic, 41 players that they have used so far in this young season already. That kind of gives you an idea right there why they are a little bit disorganized. Some has been due to injuries, other just because Luann Gotti and Eddie Johnson are trying to find the right connection that is going to work and going to spark this Penguin Hockey Club.
Well, program sales are certainly brisk, especially among the Penguins themselves, to try to check out their teammates. Andy Brickley, who came over in the trade from Philadelphia, plays it around the boards. Hotham cannot keep it in. Now chasing back is Carlisle. Again, this just a couple of years ago was the top power play unit in the NHL, the Penguins. Now they have dropped down to 18th in the league. It is Boutet who brings it across. Behind the net, Brickley. Rick Pugh, once a 50-goal scorer. 45 seconds to go in the Penguin power play. And the Rangers just doing a good job of freezing the puck.
I can remember when I was coaching Washington a few seasons ago. Awesome attack that this Pittsburgh Penguin team did have on the power play. Looking back at the 80-81 season, a lot of it had to do with their point men. Hotham wasn't there at the time, but Randy Carlisle, the Norris Trophy winner that year, had an exceptionally good year. Rick Keough, 55 goals that year. The Lady Byng Award winner, 55 goals and stay out of the penalty box. What more ingredients can you want for a perfect power play situation? They really were awesome on it. They utilized the pick play so often. I don't see them doing that a lot out there tonight.
Well, Bullard has 7 power play goals. Keough has 7. Keough is on the ice right now, number 17. Carlisle last year had 8 power play goals. Defenseman, 8 power play goals. And now he goes back for it. Penalty almost over, just down to 20 seconds to go. And the penalty to Fatiou. There's a gift for Fatiou. Cleansing penalty on his behalf. In front, there is Carlisle, and it is blocked by the Rangers. Pittsburgh hasn't even had a shot on goal during this power play. Buskus, who took that shot from Fatiou. And the penalty is over, so the Rangers are able to kill it off without allowing the Penguins a shot on goal. And now New York comes out. McClanahan looking for Fatiou out of the penalty box. But Carlisle back the other way. He has Brickley, and he has Fatiou. Carlisle again. Lines it up, and it's blocked. Carlisle again in front in the slot. Brickley, shot saved, rebound. And it's cleared. 7.5 to go in period number 2 here at Madison Square Garden. 4-0. The Rangers lead the Penguins. All the scoring coming in the first period. Anderson and Fatiou, and 2 by LaRouche. And again, a blistering wrist shot by Nick Fatiou, who is dominating here tonight.
Fatiou keeps shooting the puck the way that he is capable of. You know, he said he's not a goal scorer. He said that to Al Troutwig. There's no reason with a guy that has a shot as great as he does that he couldn't be a goal scorer. Here at Pittsburgh has a couple of good opportunities, one by Brickley there and the other by Tommy Ralston, but they weren't able to muster much more than that. The Rangers playing very well in their own end zone. Hanlon hasn't had a lot of work. Only 11 shots in the game so far tonight.
Greshner puts it in front. Rangers out shooting Pittsburgh 32-11 at this point. 7 minutes remaining still in the second period. Greg Fox, he has Riesling on the left. The back pass as Ralston is bumped, and now the race for it. Here is Blaisdell coming out as Romano, and Romano clears it down. Ralston, number 18, beaten to the puck, but Riesling picks it up. On the right wing, shot saved by Hanlon, who comes way out to smother Steve Gatsos. 6.5 to go in period number 2. Penguins, no question, getting some more opportunities here in the second period. They had 1 in the first, so that more opportunities is a relative term. All right, McSorley. Back to Greg Fox, who will be joining Al Troutwig in between periods. Ralston. And a penalty coming up. Peter Sundstrom, the pickpocket on that play. And he is tripped up by Greg Fox, and another power play for the Rangers. Our local systems will pause now. The NHL coming your way on USA.
Last time we were in the Windy City for a hockey game was about 2 weeks ago, and Greg Fox, then of the Chicago Blackhawks, was making headlines because of some comments he made against Orville Tessier, the coach of the Blackhawks. Well, since that time, he's been traded. He is now in Pittsburgh, and he will be our guest in between the second and third periods. We'll see how life is in Pittsburgh. And then after that, William Bruce will tell us what's going on with the Wall Street Report. And after that, Gary Green will take a look at hockey writers. That should be interesting, all in the second intermission.
Greg Fox in the penalty box right now for hooking. You can see why as he pulls Peter Sundstrom from the Rangers down to the ice. Just kind of a last-ditch move on Fox's part. Rangers on the power play once again.
So the hooking penalty to Fox at 13:52. Rangers with their 5th power play. They have scored on one. One of the goals by Pierre LaRouche, the second one, which came at 19:42 of the first period. Lou Angotti, he has seen this before. His team has won just 7 games this season of the 34 that they have played to this point. Trying to put all the pieces together in Pittsburgh. A club that just 2 years ago almost pulled off the most stunning upset in Stanley Cup history. In the first round against the Islanders, going to a final 5th game, leading 3-1 with 5 minutes to go before the Islanders exploded back and won in overtime and went on to win in their 3rd Stanley Cup. It is Rogers, puts it in front. Nice tip by Pavlich, but Romano is there, and Greshner can't keep it in. So it is 15, 16, and 17 for the Rangers. Hedberg, Pavlich, and Mike Rogers. That's the front line. This is 15 Hedberg. Out to Ruotsalainen. Across to Greshner. Ruotsalainen. Greshner. Ruotsalainen fires. Saved by Romano. Rebound. Oh, a great save by Romano on the rebound. Dead on in front. He stopped his man. As the Rangers continue on with 40 seconds to go in the power play. Scrapping along the boards. Penguins try to get it out. Rangers keep it in. Pavlich goes cross ice, chasing Greg Hotham, and he finds the spot and fires it down.
Well, Romano continues to make some key saves, and viewers just tuning in may find that hard to believe when the score is 4-0 for the Rangers, but Romano hasn't had a lot of help tonight. He has looked sharp.
Well, his save percentage is going up and up. Now it's 4 goals on 33 shots. And he stops another one. As you see him hugging back towards the goal line. Tries to flip it to Brickley, but the Rangers keep it in. Willie Hubert. Sundstrom chases. He's checked by Buskus. It goes in front. Shot, another save. Laidlaw is smothered. Maloney can't get the shot off. And that time Romano was out of position. But Maloney stopped by the Penguins. Risling, with 3:45 to go in the second period, has been a scoreless second period. Laidlaw, who has 1 goal this year, none last year, has been stopped twice on great opportunities. And now here's a great 3-on-1. Brickley to Ralston, and he shoots it wide. And the Rangers coming back. The team's at equal strength. Sundstrom, it goes through his skates. And coming out is Ralston again. Barry Beck is back. Ralston looks for the shot, and again, he is off target. And Fatiou touches the puck in this place. Goes crazy. He's in. Looks for the pass. And it is Fatiou and McSorley who ended up alone in the corner, but nothing happening. 2:50 to go in this second period. Ruotsalainen. Fatiou. And he is bumped there, and the puck goes in. Fatiou getting the number as both teams skate back into the Pittsburgh end. Allison. Cannot pin him. Strong Mike Allison. Score! Ruotsalainen on the screen. Fatiou was in front. He might have done it again.
Well, by the way everyone is congratulating Nicky Fotiu, it's pretty obvious that he was the player that deflected that puck. There we see it. Fotiu in that slot area, deflecting that puck as it came along the ice. Good shot by Ruotsalina, right along the ice. That's exactly where you want a defenseman shooting. Watch Fotiu. Tips that puck just enough to fool Romano. Fotiu getting his second goal of the evening.
Right through the legs. Fotiu, goals 1 and 2 this season, and the Rangers lead 5-0, and now they'll have a power play as Mike Bullard is called on the penalty. Exclusively on the USA Network, it's the National Hockey League. More after this.
Hi there.
Richard, this is Marge.
Marge?
Your boss, Richard.
Oh, Miss Robinson?
Call me Marge, Richard. I didn't want to mention it at the office. Your Cambridge cologne has a stimulating effect on me.
Miss Robinson, Marge, I just never thought of you that way.
Take a moment to pull yourself together, Dickie boy, and I'll call back.
Cambridge, the gentleman's fragrance women recall.
The Warrior, Nick Fotiu, a night to remember for this New York Ranger. 2 goals, 1 assist here at Madison Square Garden.
Ruotsalina and Allison assisting on that goal of Fotiu's. 17:30 the time. Bullard now in the penalty box for Pittsburgh at the 17:43 mark. Tripping is the call. Pittsburgh really digging himself into a big hole.
3 points tonight for Fotiu. He came into this game having scored 1 point all season in the 14 games he played. 1 assist coming into this game. Last year was his best year. He had 21 points for the Rangers. Greshner on the fly with a shot. High Pavlich gets it out to Ruotsalina. Greshner takes the long look. He has Hedberg behind the net. Ruotsalina. And you see Romano going down quickly. You may see the Rangers try to put it up high. 1:42 remaining in this second. Pavlich to Greshner. Rangers all the time playing. And it is deflected into the corner. 1:10 to go in the power play. Pavlich and Boutet takes it away and shoots it down. 1:20 left in the second period. 1 minute to go in the penalty to Bullard of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
That last goal by Fotiu, by the way, his 3rd point of the evening. That's the first time in 500 games that Nick Fotiu has ever had 3 points in a game.
And the crowd chanting, "We want Nick on the power play." Kick saved by Romano, who is going to be one tired young man when this game is over. Heck, when the second period is over. Rangers already have put 37 shots on Romano, making his first NHL start of the season. All right, is LaRouche, who already has 2 goals against his former team. Comes out to the point. The shot by Huber, and Romano gobbles it up. 38th shot on goal.
Very obvious tonight the Rangers have come out to shoot that puck. You know, so often when a team is struggling, that is what the coach prescribes to get out of it. Shoot that puck and then you might score. The Rangers, as has been mentioned many a time tonight, have only scored 8 goals over the last 3 games. I'm sure Herb Brooks' concern right now with his team is that they don't get carried away with these 5 goals that they've scored so far in 2 periods, but also concentrate on their defensive part of the game, which has been even worse than their offensive part of the game over the course of the last 3 games especially. So far, they've been able to hold both departments very, very well.
Well, with 36 seconds to go in the period and 19 seconds remaining on the power play, can the Rangers get to the 40-shot mark before the end of this period? They are 2 away, and they are on the power play for 19 seconds. Hotham tries to get out in a penalty coming up. Ranger penalty. Brian Lewis whistles it down as Hotham creates it, trying to bring the puck out from behind the net. Hooking penalty coming up to the Rangers, and it's to Pierre LaRouche.
Well, that play originated right from behind the net. Really a penalty that Herb Brooks will not be very pleased with. You don't want to give the Penguins any spark right now if you're in the Rangers situation. And we see Hotham being pulled to the ice.
19:29.
And LaRouche LaRouche going to the penalty box. 19:29. Hooking is the call. The Penguins will see what they can do over the course of the next 25 seconds.
Well, still 10 seconds to go on Bullard's penalty, so they'll skate even until the 15-second mark. We're really kind of splitting hairs right now.
38 shots in tonight's game so far. That is all a goaltender should receive. More than a goaltender should receive in any 3 periods of play. As you mentioned, it'll be a night I'm sure that Romano will remember.
That's a busy night for a game, for a 3-period. 12 seconds to go. And Pittsburgh now, for what it is worth, has a man advantage. Ralston goes over to DeFazio, and there is the buzzer to end the second period. The night belongs to this man, Nicky Fotiu. The shots on goal in this second period, the Rangers 18 and the Penguins 9 for the game. Rangers 38, the Penguins 12. That's through 2 periods. Coming up next, Al Troutwig will be talking with Pittsburgh Penguin defenseman Greg Fox, the former Blackhawk, now in Pittsburgh. We're at the end of 2 periods of play. The score, the New York Rangers 5, the Pittsburgh Penguins nothing. Second period intermission activities begin right after this.